Welcome to another episode of High Proof Ashes. I'm one of your co-hosts, Jason JV Smoke, and over to my left this time, he's trying to mess me up.
Yeah, and no, you did that. You set your glass and stuff over on the right side. You just sat
I'm
down.
trying to mess me up.
Yeah, like I was like, okay, I guess that's what we're doing. But anyway, I'm Duran. No cool nickname. We are on location at our home spot, OCL. This is where the magic started with the group, and where me and Jason first met. I don't know if we ever told him that,
I
but
don't know that we've ever mentioned it,
yeah,
but
but
yeah, this is where
this
we
is where
met.
we met. So
Yeah,
it sounds like a weird ass relationship. It ain't that, but you know, uh, yeah,
I mean, there's always some place where you met
yeah,
everyone you know. So
yeah.
for us, it's right here.
Mm-mm.
But I was actually when we were talking about coming up here today, I was like, you know what? I don't think we've ever done a tour of OCL for our subscribers.
No, probably not.
I don't think we have. So we should do a tour for them and post that in between the episodes or something or just
Yeah, we can get that
whatever.
done. I like it. I like it a lot.
But we talk about this place a lot and how great we think the atmosphere is and
Mhm.
all that kind of stuff and it's a very welcoming place. Um, but it would probably be helpful to show people around.
Yeah, no, I think so. Maybe I don't know. Today's probably a good day to do it. It's kind of quiet, so it might be a
Probably.
good day to record it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So y'all know the drill, man. We're back at it, like crack addicts. Ain't that what I said last time?
I think so,
We're gonna
yeah.
coin that one. That was old school, but yeah, fun stuff. What we got today? What we smoking? What we drinking?
We are smoking a
El
an El
Septimo.
Septimo that I'm not like crazy familiar with.
Me neither.
Oh, this isn't the one that I thought you were bringing.
Oh,
But that's okay.
sorry.
Um, huh?
I said sorry.
No, it's fine. Because I don't. We haven't done this one either. So, this is the one of the Sacred Art series. We've done the purple band, the what is it? The Salvador Dali, I think it's called.
Mhm.
This one is the Michelangelo.
Yep.
So, for those of you that love a kind of like a sort of perfecto, kind of sort of,
Bro, I don't know what this is to be completely honest. It's kind of weird.
yeah,
It's got a torpedo at the top, and then the foot is a
yeah,
little.
they went a little crazy with the Vitola on this one.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's the same shape all the way through. So maybe it's not a figurado, but it's got the ends on it that are kind of weird. But not much aroma,
No, not
not
at
much
all.
there at all. So yeah, El Septimo, Sacred Art, Michelangelo. And then for our spirits for today, we have a fresh crack,
Mm-hmm.
and we have something that you guys may or may not have seen it around, but the one right here, this is the Old Forester 1924 10-year-old, and I believe this is the second batch.
Don't remember. But
So
yeah,
I'm only saying that because people have told me that the second batch is much better than the first
first one.
batch.
Well, that one's very good.
And
So
this is very good.
yeah.
So, I mean, but I'm not sure, and I don't know how to tell. I don't know if there's some kind of etching on here to tell me that. I see numbers back here, but I don't know what they mean. But anyway, Old Forester, 1924, 10-year-old, 100 proof. Um, it's really good.
Yeah.
And then the fresh crack is a
Penelope.
Penelope Valencia. So this is one of their more obscure offerings. They've got the what is it? The one I'm thinking of
The
that
one
we were trying to get.
Rio.
The Rio, yeah. So they've got the Rio. They've recently come out with a Havana.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got all these kind of one-offs, but this one is one that I really enjoy. So this is straight bourbon whiskey, finished in Vino de Naranja casks, or Naranja, however you say that. So relatively for us, low proof. It's only 95 proof,
Yeah.
but I think that makes it really approachable for a lot of people.
It's again
So,
at that proof point. It's a great pour. I'm going to actually have that before I smoke, because
oh,
I don't know that I've ever done it
I
before
haven't.
smoking.
I haven't, and I love
Um,
it.
so yeah, I'm gonna do that. And then of course, the 1924. You can see I've already hit it a little bit. I didn't
Yeah.
have much help with that one. So
Well, I don't see any perforations on this, so
this is new. I don't remember Jason carrying a pocket knife.
uh it's funny. When I was younger, I used to carry a pocket knife everywhere.
Yeah.
And I started working at at TVA in a federal building.
And no weapons.
No weapons.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so kind of got out of the habit.
Yeah.
And, now I'm just kind of getting back in the habit, which I might need to get right back out of the habit because we might be headed into the office. But, we'll see.
That's a big ass knife though. Yours is pretty large for like paws. But that's just kind of, that's not really a real functional pocket knife. That.
No, it's not.
That thing is like. And of course, it's a Drew Estate knife. I have one as well.
Yeah.
And as soon as I pulled it out of the box, I was like, yeah, I'm never going to fucking carry this thing.
It works for me. It works.
If I get pulled over with this, they're going to be like, really, dude? Well, they'd probably be checking for other things, as I am a firm believer.
I think it's legal.
So,
I think it's legal, right? Oh, yeah, please.
I thought it was the other way.
What?
I thought you had to measure it the other way.
It's the palm of your hand. The blade in the palm of your hand.
Oh, okay, but I thought you had to turn the palm,
What?
Let's see, how much report I get here. All right. I don't know. I never checked the legalities. Like, I don't commit any crimes that should...
Well, you don't... I mean,
warrant me getting pulled over and somebody measuring my knife.
Right. It's obvious like yours is so much smaller than the legal limit that you never even have to think about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, let's see if this...
So not much on the nose there.
Well, I mean, it is lower proof, right? It's 95 proof. See, I get the oranginess.
Yeah, but again, it's so faint.
It's very light.
It's super faint.
Yeah.
Right?
And as hard as this is to find, you would think that it was some kind of just banger. And I don't think it's a banger. I don't think it's something that's great, but it is a good pour. I enjoy it.
Yeah. I don't disagree.
And I think that this is something that would probably develop well in the glass.
My taste buds just off today.
I mean, it's possible. Do you not get the...
Yeah, but it's just not a lot there today. Like,
it's not very strong. It's not a very strong finish.
Yeah, but today it just feels like it's almost paper thin.
I don't know.
I'm trying to think what I ate for lunch today. I had a salad, salad and chicken. That shouldn't ruin my taste buds.
You wouldn't think. I don't know. It could be just the mood that you're in. Maybe you want something that's a bit more punchy, a bit more flavorful.
That could make sense. That could make sense.
Right. It could just simply be the mood that you're in. And which means that this one might not satisfy you either, just because it's not very high proof. It's not crazy flavorful or anything. It's good, but it's not. I don't recall it being crazy.
You know what? I'm gonna do something I normally don't do. I poured very, very little in my glass this time around, so don't judge me. But for shits and giggles.
Oh, he's gonna go straight to the other one.
I'm just gonna taste it because,
just cause.
Am I off today? Like, am I the one that's off, or what's going on? I can't really tell.
I mean, sometimes I'm usually more with like this with cigars than I am with bourbons, but I've had it plenty of times where I've had a cigar where I'm just like, what in the hell? Like, I'll have a UC10 and it's like just not anything like I remember.
It's not hitting the way it's supposed to.
Yeah. So sometimes it's just, we talk about it all the time that when we're comparing, doing head to heads about, I like them both depending on which mood I'm in, right? This is a perfect example of, you might prefer one over the other. This thing has no aroma whatsoever. No. Like on the outside. I didn't do a cold draw.
See that okay. That smells very different to me.
Yeah, I mean it's a completely different product, right? I mean,
but it's like,
and to
what's
me,
the proof on that?
100 proof.
Yeah, okay.
And to me, this doesn't smell or taste like Old Forester.
No, so again, Old Forester for me most of the time is kind of rough around the edges.
Fair enough. Well, even the year ones, the other year ones that they have, the Statesman and they got a bunch of 1920, 1910.
No, okay. It's just the Valencia this time around.
It's just weak.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Which is funny because we were here the other night and I had it and I was like, "This is such a great pour." Like, and I had it like 3 drinks in.
Right.
Maybe we didn't prime.
I mean, this is our primer.
I know, but like,
So go back to it.
yeah, that's what I plan on doing. We'll go
Okay.
back to it. All right. And when I go back to it, I'll be smoking a cigar. So, you know, who knows? Maybe that'll help a little.
I
Maybe
don't know.
that'll
Like
help.
I really enjoy it. It's developing really nice in the glass. It could be like you just said. We just needed a primer, and unfortunately, this is not a great primer. I mean, proof wise, it is, but
I swear, I'm still, I got this beautiful lighter slash cutter for my birthday, and I'm still working really hard to try to figure out a good way to use it. Like
the
while,
cutter.
like holding it,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Hey, I guess it worked. It worked. There's nothing on the cold draw.
Nothing.
So, shout out to
Whoa.
Jill for this lighter. This is a desk lighter made by Lotus. And shout out to my beautiful wife for this one. This one's really cool, right? Like, it's a 4-burner torch. It has a V cut. It has a punch at the bottom. It has a cigar draw stick somewhere on here. There it is. You know, and then at the top, it also has a cigar rest as well. So pretty nice little lighter, cutter, all that good stuff in
I
one.
love it when they do those multi-tool all in one
Yeah, man. Like,
whatever lighters.
and the crazy thing is like it's just heavy enough to remember you got it, but not so heavy that you don't want to carry it.
Gotcha.
Because it's a lot of lighters like you get them and they're like just overly heavy. And you're like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to put that thing in my pocket. Like, with this one, I could drop it in my shirt pocket and
Right.
not be upset about it.
Yeah. This one is probably right at that border.
Yes, like
of
that
being
one
too heavy.
teeters. Like some days I'm like, other
Yeah.
days I'm like, this should feel heavy today.
I like to travel with it because of the large tank and the
Yes,
cigar
so
holder.
I like it in my box.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so that's the place where I prefer to carry it.
But I definitely have smaller lighters if I want to throw into my pocket. So this thing, I almost cut the light end as well
You almost what?
on purpose.
Oh,
I
okay.
almost
Just
cut the
because
light end
I'm not a huge fan
because
of lighting these either.
don't like
Yeah.
that. I don't even know what you call it, but it's just got that really, really pinpoint.
Oh, that's not good.
That you light, and
That's not
probably
good.
works better with a soft flame. It's probably what it's intended for.
Probably, or a match, something of that nature. Yeah.
It's probably not meant for a torch lighter, and so I've done it before. I've cut these ends off that just give me the whole thing to light.
I tell you what though, it is an El Septimo.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Flavor immediately.
Yeah, not overly strong.
But just a really like flavorful hop.
There's a lot of subtle flavors in here. Nothing's overly, anything beyond your, tobacco flavor, but there are some definite nuances in there that you come to expect from an El Septimo.
Agree. So did yours is construction wise okay? Which we bought these at a local cigar lounge. They were literally clearing them out.
Is that where you got these?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently they weren't selling well at that particular lounge, which these things run like $20. So that doesn't surprise me that they, and then they probably make them buy so much. But like a lot of these companies do that. You can't just buy the one or two things that you want to sell. You have to buy the whole line.
Yeah.
And so I would bet that El Septimo is like that because
if that's the case, then where we at, they only have specific ones.
That's true, but that's probably because they're getting it from a distributor.
That's true,
and not direct from El Septimo.
Very true.
But like even here, when they've had them, or they have some now, I think they've got like 5 or 6 different ones. So I mean, who knows? I don't know for sure. like steampunk looking.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Like,
Like it's
you
kind
know,
of neat, and it's one of those like it's one of those like lever action light style.
yeah. So she said it's a desk lighter, and this one's kind of heavy. Like, it's a little heavy.
Okay, got the rest with it too.
Mhm. I almost killed myself just a little while ago with it.
Trying to see if it was lighting or not. Yeah.
I hadn't filled it with anything yet, and then of course, so I fill it up and didn't check to see what level it was on, and then of course I lit it and it shot a huge flame.
Yeah,
So luckily,
this is why they say you're supposed to turn your lighters down before you fill them
yeah,
up.
yeah,
That would be that would be why, especially a brand new one.
yeah, do's and don'ts of do's and don'ts. Hey, listen, I make rookie mistakes just like everybody else, you know. But I wanted to, break it out and use it on the podcast. So
Well, before we get too far into it, um, remember to drink responsibly, guys. Drink plenty of water. You can see we got our waters back here. Really small pours. We're not here to get toasty or anything. We're here to just taste, smell.
mhm, don't disagree. And since we're on the subject of, making announcements, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that little bell so that you get notifications when we drop new content.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2025, and we're going to keep this thing rocking and rolling. So make sure you support, man. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you want us to do some different things. We're here for you guys.
We're going to hit episode 100 soon.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we got to do something for that, man.
I know, man. Like, it's going to be in May.
Okay.
The end of May, if we keep going like we're going. And I'm just like, man, we're gonna have to do something about that. We're gonna do a live, throw a party, something.
So end of May.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm supposed to be somewhere end of May, but I don't know. So who knows? Who knows? But hey, we'll figure something out, man. We'll get it done. We'll get it done. But that 1924, I'm pretty proud of it. It's pretty good pour, man. Like seriously, like.
And I've heard not so great things about it, and I don't know what those people got,
I don't know,
but it ain't that,
no.
because that's a great pour.
Yeah.
Like I haven't even gotten to it yet, and it's just a great pour.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the Valencia here in just a second, but overall,
see what it
I
tastes
think
like
that's a good pour.
after having a few puffs here.
Mm-hmm.
Tastes pretty much the same.
Maybe it's just I don't know. It could be the neck pour or something like so.
Could be.
It didn't strike me the way it normally does because I know the bottle like you brought it multiple times and I know Corey's brought it and it's quite enjoyable. So I don't know why today it's not clicking.
And I mean and it's a Penelope. Like
I'm a huge Penelope fan.
We love Penelope. So this I've had the Rio batch 2, I think it was. Haven't had the Havana. The rose cask one, great pour.
Mm-hmm. I'm a huge fan of the barrel proof.
Yeah, the barrel proof is probably my favorite. I don't have any of it right now.
Me neither. It's not because I don't want to have any. I just have so many bottles at the moment that like it would just be wasted at the moment to be on my shelf because I just wouldn't go to it as often as I should. And always one of the ones I like to have. So when I clear out some of the other stuff that I won't drink, because we have things now that
inevitably that we buy
yeah.
that we're not going to replace.
Yeah, absolutely. So and I bought a lot last year. And it was just because, right? Of course, we're guys that we like to experiment. We like to taste everything, enjoy everything. So, when bottles that seem good hit the market or sound good hit the market, we jump on them sometimes. Not to say I don't like them, but your palate kind of develops one way, and so some of those things that you might have liked previously, you kind of grow out of.
Right.
Or you just start replacing things with much better stuff.
Yeah, and I
and
think that's kind of where we are.
yeah, it
Is
becomes hard to go to some of the other things.
right. Kind of hard to take a step back.
All right, do this again.
Yeah, I'm curious if you get something different.
The orange is still there, and
It's not like an overwhelming orange,
no.
but just kind of there.
Let's talk about the cigar a little bit. What you think?
Um, I'm not overly impressed with it.
Me either.
It's kind of lackluster. Like I feel like I'm just smoking a cigar. Like I'm not. It's not talking to me at all. I
Okay.
guess it's there's a lot of nuance to it, but it's so subtle
Hmm.
that I don't. It's pairing well with this pour, with the subtleness of this pour,
Right.
I suppose. Um, I don't know that this is something that I would go back to. I don't know. We're only like a quarter of the way into
Yeah,
it,
but
so
still, it's so for me. I think it has a lot of nice intricacies. Uh, I like it as a short smoke,
mhm.
right? Like something that's gonna smoke. Like realistically, if me and you were really going at it, like really smoking, we can knock this out in 45 to an hour,
Oh wow. Okay.
right? Like
And isn't it like $20
I don't know how much this costs. Like so again, we
retail? I think they run
uh,
about $20.
I don't know if this Vitola is 20 bucks.
I think they only make it in one vitola. I think each one of them is only made in one vitola.
Let's
Each of the
see.
sacred arts. I could be wrong, but
I hope you're wrong.
that's what I thought. I don't know why I'm thinking that, but I'm pretty sure
uh,
that. But again, I could be wrong. I don't know a whole lot about El Septimo,
Me neither.
but yeah, it's just I don't know, man. It's definitely not talking to me. It's a little too light for my palate.
5.5 by 50. That's this, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably this.
So it's medium. Hmm. Surprisingly, let's see. Origin is Costa Rica. The site that I'm looking at has the wrapper undisclosed, binder undisclosed, filler undisclosed. So let's try a different site. Let's see what El Septimo has to say. They'll probably tell us exactly, right?
Because I want to say that they have a sampler out there that you can buy, and it's got all 10 or 12 or however many there are, one of each.
Retail is 16 on this one.
Okay.
But that's still, man, like that's no cheap cigar.
Right.
So to be completely honest,
Like at that price point, I'd rather have a Padron.
yeah, I'm not coming back to it at 16 bucks. I'd go smoke a Damaso.
Yeah, I'd rather have a Damaso. If I'm looking for something light, just give me a Damaso. This has some, and there's some kind of flavor on there. I want to say it's kind of woodsy,
Yeah, I give you
and it's
that.
a bit too much for my flavor palette. Like we've smoked stuff that's like nothing but like smoking bark.
So I don't think it's not
It's
that
not
far from
that.
me.
It's not
Yeah.
that. But it's. I think it's a bit too much for me, more than I'd prefer. Um, I'll say this. I mean, like I wouldn't turn this down if somebody handed it to me.
I
You
don't
know,
mind it so
I
much.
don't. I don't mind it. I just don't think it's something that I would visit very often.
Yeah. So what I would say is I overall I don't mind the cigar, just because I've never had it.
Hmm.
Right. If we got them at a discounted price at a cigar lounge, out of town, I want to say they were $10 a piece, and then I got some more off if
Right.
I bought 10. Right.
Right.
So
Yeah.
got them at an incredible price.
Yeah, they were doing a closeout or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so for the price point that I got it at, I'm not mad at the cigar. If I would have paid $16 for it, I wouldn't be so happy with it. But for a light stick, so here's the thing: it's kind of deceiving. The dark wrapper is deceiving on the cigar, like really deceiving because it doesn't give you anything close to. Just saying this is medium is crazy. Like this is the high end of a light cigar.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Like so medium is a stretch. This is the high end of a light cigar.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that. But overall, I was going to touch the cigar up because I was getting a little bit of a burn I didn't like. I didn't, and it corrected itself. So El Septimo, they normally make very very good cigars. Even though I'm not a fan of the flavor profile, they tend to make quality cigars. So getting great smoke production,
Yeah, I mean everything
right?
else about it is top
Uh,
notch,
yeah,
right?
so the construction is good because the burn evened out, and realistically, the burn was probably bad because of how I lit the foot because the foot was wonky, right?
Yeah, it was that point,
Yeah.
right?
So, and
They'd roll it down to the
again,
point,
this is probably something that you should use a soft flame or a match on.
right?
But I don't have either.
Or just cut the damn thing off
Yeah,
and you know,
use Jason's philosophy.
like a lot of Fuentes do that.
Hmm.
A lot of Fuentes like to they do something where they roll that end into like almost a point, and it's such a pain to light, and it's usually a really tight draw on it too. And so like you just cut that thing off to where it right there where it turns into the normal shape,
Yeah.
and then you take a draw and it opens it right up because you went from a hole that big to a hole that big.
Yeah.
So
That's not always a good thing.
I knew you would go somewhere with that. I wasn't sure what, but
Hey,
how's your pour?
still kind of lackluster, but better this time.
Okay.
So I think the fact that I just hadn't had anything today uh, probably was it, right? Like it just my
But
my tongue wasn't awake.
I think that's kind of interesting though because this is technically a finished bourbon,
Yeah,
but it even as your first pour, it didn't just
no,
overwhelm your senses with the
absolutely
finish,
not. No, not
right?
at
And
all.
to me, that's probably the the tipping hat for this is that even though it's technically finished, that finish is so light
Yeah,
that you can almost call it not a finish.
hmm.
It's that light.
And if we're gonna do a finished bourbon, 9 times out of 10, that's how I want it, right? Like I don't want the finish to overpower the bourbon.
Hmm.
I want the finish to be an accent
Yeah,
to the bourbon.
exactly. You want it to complement it.
Yeah,
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 definitely. I'm with you. I'm not looking for a flavored bourbon.
right.
You know.
So I feel like these act this is a decent pairing, right?
Yeah,
The cigar does not overwhelm the bourbon. The bourbon doesn't overwhelm the cigar. But I'm also just not having the most enjoyable time with either,
I I'm with you.
right?
No,
Like,
I'm with you.
so we may have made a mistake and not really tipping the scales one way or another.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of sometimes we go heavy hitter on the both the bourbon and the cigar, and that's when we realize that's probably not a good idea.
Right.
And this time we went both light, on both the cigar
Cigar and the
and the bourbon.
bourbon, and it's probably not a great idea.
Right. But I mean, this is still good for people to know. Like, if this is what you're going to smoke, try to pair it with something that can complement it better.
So I think for people who don't smoke on a regular
Mm-hmm.
and who are going to be occasional smokers who want to occasionally have a drink, I think this is a phenomenal pairing. I think part of the problem with something like this for us is the fact that we do smoke often, and also the fact that we smoke full bodied cigars and we drink high proof bourbon.
This is true.
So coming back down the scales to something like this for a long period of time is just kind of crazy. Like I could, realistically, I feel like we should have put a third bottle up here. To be completely honest, like
But see, this is so aromatic,
it's just very different.
like so much more aromatic than
Yeah,
that is,
very
and it's
different.
only 6 proof points higher.
But that 6 proof makes a
You
monster
know,
difference between the two.
see, and I just wonder if it's just the straight core bourbon that's the difference. This is Brown Foreman's own juice
Yeah,
versus MGP
MGP.
over there.
Yeah,
And we don't know what what MGP blend it is
yeah,
because they don't tell you.
right.
They just tell you it's bourbon,
Yeah,
and so who knows which one it is. And it it's obvious that the finish takes a lot of the bourbon away.
it
You
does.
don't get as much as the you're used like with this, right? I'm getting tons of just straight up like bourbon flavors or notes. Whereas with this, you try to nose that, and there's almost nothing
Yeah,
there.
no, I keep going back to it, trying to get,
There's almost nothing there. It's
hoping
very
that
very light.
it's
It's
open,
crazy
it
light.
opens up a little bit, but it just does not. Like it doesn't do anything special.
So I think it's just the combination of what they did, right? So like I don't want to scare anyone to not buy this bottle, but at the same time, you go secondary. This thing's like 250, and I would
Which is
never,
crazy
I would
because there
never
are
pay that for this.
other low proof bottles that I would rather drink than this.
Yeah, I would never do that. And
And so again, I feel some type of way because I've had this bottle so many times and I really, really enjoy it. So I don't know why today is different. Um,
again, it could be it's early in the night. It could be the cigar,
yeah, yeah.
right? Who knows, right? Who knows?
But get you a taste of that because we're running out of time.
Hmm. Yeah, that's just so good.
So unfortunately, I don't think it's fair to have these on the same podcast at the moment. Because
Well, I mean, we do that a lot though, and
yeah,
again, on purpose, right, to show how varying different offerings can be. Um, this I don't get me wrong, I love this bottle,
me too.
and I
Just not today.
think I'm just not in the right frame of mind for that bottle.
Yeah, that might be
I
it.
think that's all it is, because I've had it plenty of times and have just been like, man, this
So
is great.
so for me, Mondays are always difficult, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because coming back from the weekend,
Mm-hmm.
Monday is a pain in the ass in my field of work. I don't know about yours, how your day was, but I had a full day. So
It
I
was
had a meeting
busy.
early this morning. I had a lunch meeting, and then after both of those meetings, I was playing catch up for the rest of the day. So it's just been a wild day. So that could be the fact that I just want something stronger, and that may just be all in the mood, all in my head
That
at this
and
moment.
yeah, definitely. But this is the Old Forester. You can really you can really smell and taste the age on it. It hasn't gotten anywhere near that oak like too oaky point.
Hmm.
Um, and it's just a solid pour.
Yeah. So
Mm.
I will say on the Valencia, the more I drink it, the more it kind of like the more my tongue wakes up, the better it is.
Okay.
So that last little sip I just took was very flavorful, very good.
And maybe you had said before like you were 3 or so pours in before you had it.
Yes,
Maybe it does better after you've woken up the palate with
yeah,
other stuff,
yeah,
and it's not a primer.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not something you start your night
No,
with.
because I just don't think the complexity comes through right away.
Mm-hmm.
But now that like the tongue is fully engaged and like okay, now all four quadrants working, like
I
you can
gotcha.
taste it a little bit better.
I gotcha. All right. Well, you want to start wrapping this one up?
Let's do it. So on the Valencia, I don't know why. First time around tonight, it wasn't digging it. But like I said, as the night came further and I drank it a little bit more, um, I enjoy it much better. And again, I've had this pour a bunch of times, and I love it. So don't take what I'm saying tonight as me not enjoying that bottle. I like that bottle a whole lot. Shocked that I still don't own one, and I've walked past it a million times, but there were just other things there at the moment
Right.
that I couldn't pass to buy that one.
Right.
And I had already spent way too much. So that's why I don't have
And it's
that.
not a cheap bottle. I
It's
think
not.
even retail, I think that thing runs like, I want to say
It's like
it's
120, ain't it?
I I was thinking it was 100, but
Okay. It might be 100. I thought it was like 120 though, but can't remember.
I think it's 100.
Okay. The Old Forester, I like that bottle a lot. Like you said, like again, man, I find myself like just grabbing it, putting it on the table, and hanging out with it for a little while, which is not a good thing because I'm gonna drink through it pretty fast,
And you can't replace it.
and I can't replace it. As far as the cigar goes, it's an okay cigar. At the price point I got it, I'm not disappointed. If I would have paid full retail, I'd be mad as hell. Just being completely honest, it's too light for my palate. Doesn't mean you won't like it. It just means it's way too light for my palate. If you are a light to medium bodied cigar person, I think this has plenty of nuances that would be great for you. For me, being a full body, full flavor guy, this is just a little too light. So I'm being courteous in smoking it because realistically, I want to like treat this like you know just smoke the shit out of it because I can. Like you know, I don't even have to put this cigar down to be completely honest. I put it down just because. But I could just smoke this and it
Yeah.
wouldn't bother me.
Yeah, I'm with you. So for me, I'll go with a cigar. I mirror everything that you were saying, and I'll take it a step further to say that there are plenty of people out there that are pretty far on their cigar journey, but they never got to a place where they were smoking those heavy, strong,
Hmm.
cigars. They just stayed into that low to medium range, right? And I mean that's why they make cigars. They make so many cigars in that range because there's people that just never get out of it, and that's fine. If that's where you are, this is a pretty good complex cigar in that low to medium range, right?
Yeah, but
This
like,
isn't one of your cheaper ones, that are just tobacco,
mhm.
right? So this will give you some complexity and some nuance. It's just not enough for me
Me neither. Like
personally.
it's just the price point is what
Yeah,
gets me.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's wholeheartedly like if this was always $10, I think it would be top of the heap at that price point.
Hmm.
But at 16, there are just other things that are, like we said, the Damaso, right? Like the Damaso, just like
Right, right.
you
But
know,
again, if you are at that low to medium range, and that's just where you're staying, and you want something with some nuance and complexity and things for you to look for, it's probably something that you should try.
yeah, you
Because I
should
mean,
definitely try it. I
it's
don't disagree.
because it's a quality cigar.
Yes,
It's just not for us.
yeah,
That's all it is. And then the pours, the Valencia, like once I was able to get one, I made sure I got another one right behind it. It's a great pour. I don't pull it out that often because you have to be in the mood for it.
yeah,
Like you really do have to be in the place for it. And I just think we're not there today
yeah.
to really give it a whole lot of praise.
That makes sense.
And then the Old Forester, like I'm gonna be honest, I've only had one Old Forester I think that's better than this, and it's not even fair.
It's your single barrel.
No, it's that 150th or whatever, the
Oh
50th,
yeah,
whatever it was called.
yeah, yeah.
Like, but it's not even fair because like that's impossible, like literally impossible to get, right? I
Don't
even
you have a good
prefer.
single barrel?
I do have a good single barrel. I like this better.
I can't remember that one.
I like this better than the single barrels
Okay. Sorry, I keep
because
interrupting your final thoughts.
no, you're fine. But this, I don't know. I really enjoy this pour.
Hmm.
As far as, and this bottle's not easily attainable either.
No,
Neither are the single barrels.
no.
And that's the thing about Old Forester. Like, the stuff that I really enjoy is so hard to get, and that sucks. Like that's unfortunate. But maybe with the boom slowing down, I read a thing today that said, I think it was in our group chat that like Ohio or somebody is pulling Buff Trace out
Off the
of
allocation
off
list.
the
Yeah,
allocation list.
yeah,
Holy shit. Are
yeah.
you kidding me? Like we're finally having enough Buffalo Trace sitting on the shelves where we can just put it on the shelves.
in Ohio.
I mean, I get it, but we got to start somewhere. We got to start somewhere.
In Ohio. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it
Anyways,
translates for us.
that's what I got.
All right, man. Well, that's it. There's the reviews. There's the thoughts. Y'all let us know what y'all think in the comments. But with that being said, thanks for joining us on another episode of High Proof Ashes. I'm Duran, no cool nickname. Kick it over to my partner, Jason.
Jason JB Smoke. We'll see you guys on the next one. Put some smoke in the air.